Hi everyone, how are you? So, we're live, and this is the first time I'm going live, but I wanted to say hi and welcome you today to this YouTube tutorial. I want to discuss a topic that's deeply important to me, and and it should be important to everyone. It's called abortion. Why it matters. The left doesn't want to talk about it. They just want to say that the right wants to ban it and it's a right, it's your right, and they don't want to discuss and enlighten Americans on this right we supposedly have in the Constitution. Um, so let's delve into this subject because it's important to understand the sanctity of your life and the divine connection we have to the Creator. And let's explore why we must not allow women to abort their unborn babies and the significance of recognizing our divine connection to God, who governs in America and grants us the right to free will. In other words, He gives each individual in America the right to choose their destiny. And abortion is not a natural right protected in the Constitution. And the government in America does not give you rights. It's very important that you recognize the divine connection. Why is this important? In America, we are blessed, if you will, with the freedom to exercise our faith and follow our conscience. This freedom is noted in our recognition to God as the ultimate authority governing each individual, legal individual in America. It's embodied in the Constitution. Our Constitution acknowledges the sovereignty of God. And it acknowledges the inherent rights bestowed by our Creator. As individuals connected to faith and beliefs, connected to God, We have an obligation to align our actions with the divine will of God and uphold the sanctity of life. Protecting the right to free will is very important in America. God grants each one of us the right to free will. And I could attest to this because it's in Augustine's City of God and his Confessions. He talks about free will. And all of us have it. And God knows everything that we're going to do already. He foreknows it. He knows that what path you're going to take. And your will, whatever it desires, whether God wills it or not. So he gives you the use of free will so that we are allowed to make choices and decisions that shape our lives and the world around us. With the gift of free will comes the responsibility to use our free will wisely and in accordance to moral principles and divine guidance. Abortion infringes on the inherent rights of the unborn, and it contradicts the fundamental principles of respecting life and honoring our divine connection with God. And if we are no longer connected to God, then we have no constitution. And ultimately, we have no freedom. In conclusion, abortion is a very critical issue. It strikes at the heart of our values as individuals connected to God. We must not allow women to abort their unborn babies, as every life is precious and deserving of protection. And if we can't protect the most innocent life at conception, then our life at every stage will be unprotected, and they could abort us at any stage in our life, whether it's at birth or as a 20-year-old or as a 70-year-old. The government can abort you at any stage of your life if you do not protect the unborn baby. Do you understand what that means? We honor our Creator, fulfill our moral duty to safeguard the rights of the most vulnerable. We must recognize this connection with God and uphold the sanctity of life. If we are to remain free in America, we must not allow the government to create a right that is not there in the Constitution. Because the government's purpose is not to create rights. The government's purpose is not to govern you individually. The government's purpose is to protect you and your ability to do what you will. Do you understand this? Thank you for joining me in this discussion, and let's continue to advocate for life And let's learn together what abortion really is. Let's uphold the principles of dignity, respect, and reverence to all human beings. Every single human being deserves their life to be protected. And abortion leaves your life unprotected. And if we allow women to abort their babies, we are going to suffer greatly in the future because it's a sin. It's murder. Do you understand? Abortion is killing a human being. And what the left wants to do is control human beings. They don't want you to will your will, what you want to do. They don't desire you to be free. They want you to be a slave to the state. Do you understand? I'd rather be a slave to God than a slave to government and man. I don't want to live in a cave like the allegory of the cave in Plato's cave image, where we're working, there's people outside and we don't even see them. We're inside the cave and we see shadows of people walking outside, and we don't know what that is. We're afraid to go and be free and see what is on the outside. Don't be a slave to sin. That's what the government wants you to do. If we are a slave to the government, we will be like China, like Venezuela, like Cuba, like Russia. You must understand that abortion is population control. They want to control you. It is control. Climate change is population control. They want to control you. They want to control your life. Please, listen to me now and understand that abortion is not a right. And if you're listening, Republicans want to push this under the bus. They want to sweep it under the rug and say, okay, we don't have to discuss it anymore. We must agree. It's already codified in the as a law in Colorado. No, no, it's not a law. It's an unjust law. It's a law like the laws that they did in the Jim Crow laws. It's a bad law that we're gonna have to fight because Planned Parenthood is killing babies unjustly. They're telling women, oh, you know what? You don't want to ruin your career. No, no, just abort it. There's no. It's just a clump of cells. No, that's a life. That's an actual life inside of your body that you will hear once you're, what is it, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You can start hearing the heartbeat almost immediately within the first month. You are killing a soul, a beautiful soul. God gave you a blessing of life. He made you for a purpose. Your will is very important. Do not submit to the government's will in abortion. The government wants to make you believe that abortion is a right, and it's not. You don't have a right to take another life. And if you could take a life at the very, very onset of conception, then you could take a life at the very end of life. They can end a life whenever they please if we allow this unjust law in the books. Yes, I do agree with freedom of choice. I do agree with life, protecting life. It's in the Constitution. Liberty is in the Constitution. Life is in the Constitution. Property is in the Constitution. These three things must be protected. Anyways, thank you for joining me in this discussion. Please think critically and clearly about this issue, because it really pains me that we have so much ignorance coming out of high school these days. Public schools. Not everyone is ignorant, especially not those kids who are homeschooled. Anyways, signing off.